Hello and welcome. You're watching News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Annetta Felix. The Osun State Governorship Election Tribunal has declared Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party winner of the 2018 governorship election held in the state. The ruling automatically invalidates the victory of Gboyega Oyetola of the All Progressives Congress, who was earlier declared winner of the poll by INEC. Now, the tribunal, in its judgment, held that the APC and its candidates were not validly returned. It also cancelled the September 27 supplementary election on the grounds that it was illegal.
The tribunal has delivered this judgment,
Your lawyer is
and
yes.
This judgment reassures Nigerians that there is no point resorting to violence. The tribunals, the courts are there to right the wrong. Today, the people of Osun State, the people of Nigeria have seen that the judiciary has vindicated what we have said about Osun. That is the last hope of the common man. We continue to tell our followers and our clients to keep within the law. The judiciary can be trusted in Nigeria.
The election petition does not ordinarily end at the election tribunal. The clients will determine where it will end. So we await our client's decision. That's the opinion of APC that I represent.
There is clarity in the judgment. There is no doubt about it. Issues that were articulated. This is the first time we want to say that this panel, particularly the majority one, are responsible, and they have exhibited law in the right perspective. And I think we have no fear about whatever is going to happen about going upstairs. We want to congratulate ourselves. We want to congratulate all the people of Osun State for this opportunity, because what we have today is a gift to Osun State. The freedom of Osun State is free from Lagos axis, who have been oppressing the people of Osun in the last 8 years.
And in an election, in the governorship election matter, we have the opportunity of moving the case up to Supreme Court. So we have two different judgments on ground. One judge declared PDP candidate as the winner, while the other declared rerun in disputed polling units. So I'm sure our party will approach the Court of Appeal for the final declaration on this matter. But as at today, we have two judgments on ground. One declare PDP, the other declare rerun for now.
President Muhammadu Buhari is reassuring Nigerians of the commitment of his administration in ensuring the separation of power at all levels of government. The president said this at the inauguration ceremony of a Presidential Implementation Committee on Autonomy of State Legislature and Judiciary in Abuja. Also speaking at the event is the chairman of the committee and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, who highlights some of the duties of the 16-man panel.
The Presidential Implementation Committee, as constituted, is to drive the actualization of the autonomy for the state legislature and state judiciary in conformity with the fourth alteration to the 1999 Constitution as amended. This committee is practically significant as it attests to the determination of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari's administration in deepening democracy within the respective states of the Federation, thereby bringing the core values of governance to the Nigerian people.
The setting up of this committee is necessitated by the realization that legislative and judicial autonomy are necessary preconditions for our democracy to endure. We are committed to strengthening our democracy by ensuring separation of powers among the three tiers or arms of government, even at the state levels. Furthermore, we have identified the need to sustain our constitutionally guaranteed federal system of government by building capabilities not only at the federal level, but at all the federating units.
Meanwhile, Ademola Adeleke has been reacting to the ruling of the tribunal that declared him winner of the Osun State governorship election. Now, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party says the ruling is the beginning of a new era in Osun State.
First of all, I have to thank God Almighty for what He has done for the family of PDP, for what He has done, for us to have declared us that the authentic winner. We thank Thee that He has done it. We thank Allah too. And of course, this is the beginning of good things to come in Nigeria.
The federal government has ordered the closure of land borders in Adamawa, Benue and Sokoto states ahead of the supplementary elections on Saturday. A statement from the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandede, said the closure will be effective from 12 noon on Friday, March 22nd to 12 noon on Sunday, March 24th, 2019. The federal government, however, did not order the closure of borders in Bauchi, Plateau and Kano states, where supplementary elections will also take place. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced that it will conduct supplementary polls in 13 states across the federation. INEC Commissioner for Voter Education and Information, Festus Kia Okoye, said this at a media briefing in Abuja. Okoye also addressed the legal tussle between the All Progressives Congress and INEC in Borno State.
The supplementary governorship elections earlier scheduled to hold in Bauchi State is now a subject of litigation, which was initiated by the All Progressives Congress and its candidate Mohammed A. Abubakar. An interlocutory injunction to suspend the process has been served on the commission by the Federal High Court, Abuja. While the commission has complied in accordance with its policy to obey all court orders in deference to the rule of law, it has also taken urgent steps to vacate the order and dismiss the action. It should, however, be noted that the litigation and consequential order only affects the collation of results for the governorship election in Tafa Balewa local government area. Consequently, the supplementary elections will proceed as scheduled on Saturday, the 23rd day of March 2019, in the other 15 local government areas of Bauchi State, as well as in the Krifi State Constituency supplementary elections in Krifi local government area.
Now, ahead of the election, the Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, has deployed 5 Deputy Inspector Generals, 3 Assistant Inspector Generals, and 15 additional Commissioners of Police to states where the elections will be taking place. Out of the 15 additional commissioners deployed, 3 each were deployed to Benue and Sokoto states, 2 each were deployed to Adamawa, Bauchi, Kano and Plateau states, while Imo State got 1 Commissioner of Police. The top police officers are to ensure that adequate mechanisms are in place towards ensuring a safe and secure environment for the conduct of the polls. In Plateau State, the government has declared total restriction of movement ahead of the March 23rd supplementary polls. This was announced by the Deputy Inspector General of Police on electoral duty, Taiwo Lakanu, during a lecture for police personnel in the state. While commending the police for the success achieved in the last election, the DIG said no stone will be left unturned towards ensuring adequate peace and security throughout the exercise. He also noted that no form of thuggery will be tolerated. Our tenure of the 8th Assembly gradually comes to an end. The All Progressives Congress is warned its members in the National Assembly to avoid any acts that will sabotage in the chances of the party to lead the Red Chamber. Lawmaker representing Kiru Bebeji Federal Constituency in Kano State, Abdul Mumin Jibrin gave the warning while briefing State House correspondents in Abuja.
The position of the party and our leaders has always been that all elected members and of course senators should exercise patience. Work is going on, consultations are being carried out, and I believe that any elected senator or member of the APC will allow himself to be used by the opposition, like in the case of 2015. In the case of 2015, there wasn't consequences, but I'm pretty sure that this time around, if anybody allows himself to be used against the party by the opposition, there will certainly be consequences. That is not to say that there's some kind of element of desperation. As you can see, a lot of people are coming out to indicate interest. Personally, I have complained about that. And the way and manner they're going about it, it's a bit unhealthy for the party, because at the end of the day, only one person will become Senate President, and only one person will become the Speaker of the House of Representatives and other principal officers.
Bauchi State Commissioner for Finance, Garba Akuyam, has resigned his appointment. In a statement released on Friday, Akuyam said he was compelled to resign in view of the recent developments and political realities in present-day Bauchi State. He, however, commended the state governor, Abubakar Bello, for his support and fatherly advice. He also noted that he is willing to serve the people of Bauchi if called upon, but in a different capacity. To security now, no fewer than 23 soldiers are feared killed following an attack by suspected Boko Haram insurgents on the Chadian army position in Dandala on Friday. The incident, which reportedly happened at about 1 a.m. early Friday morning, is however yet to be confirmed by the Chadian government or the military. But confirming the incident, a military official who wished not to be identified said the insurgents made away with tons of weapons from the military point. The National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, says it will only renew the license of GoTV on certain conditions. NBC Director General Modibo Kawu said this in Abuja on Friday at a media briefing to clear the air on the rumor that the Commission will not renew the license. Kawu said, based on national security issues, it's important for GoTV to separate the operations of content provider from signal distributor if it wishes to continue business in the country.
Against the backdrop of the notice that we issued in January 2018, there was a lot of disinformation put out in the public space that NBC had taken a decision to close down GoTV. But that had never been our intention. We realize the place of Details Nigeria as a critical stakeholder in the Nigerian broadcasting industry, the huge amount of investment they had made in the industry, and the jobs that they have created directly as well as indirectly. Yesterday's meeting resolved that GoTV would have its license renewed for a period of 3 years, but with certain provisos. The separation of content provider from signal distributor is non-negotiable. That means that GoTV going forward in the near future will no longer combine the two functions. So in the 3-year period of licensing that we're issuing, they will be expected to begin discussions with any of the two licensed signal distributors, Integrated Television Service, ITS, and Pinnacle Communications Limited, on the preferred platform to carry their content.
Nigeria joins the rest of the world to celebrate the World Water Day for 2019 with the theme, Leaving No One Behind. In commemoration of this day, groups and non-governmental organizations have embarked on various projects to ensure available and sustainable management of water for marginalized people, including women, children, refugees, and disabled people, among others. Adeshawa Odushoga now tells us more.
It is rather ironic that a community like Ebute Ilaje in Bariga, Lagos have had to suffer to poor access of clean water. A community that is very close to river area, as you can see behind me. This community is also suffering from bad drainage system, environmental sanitation, and a community that is almost a dump site. This is a problem this group has come to solve with the United Nations theme for the World Water Day 2019, leaving no one behind. If there is anyone who thinks the theme of the year's World Water Day is very apt, it is Victor, a university undergraduate who has lived in a Ebute Ilaje community in Bariga, Lagos for over 20 years without access to clean water.
The soil here, and it's not really good for drinkable water. They've erected several boreholes, like public boreholes that people go to fetch, but we find out that at the very end we'll be tasting like zinc and ions, tasting this kind of rubbish, and by the time you fetch at times, even within that few minutes, let me say just 2 hours break like this, you just see to start changing to wine, stuff like that, and that's the water people used to cook here.
We need a safe water, we need a drainage system. Yes, give the community a drainage system. Basically, you could see that the people are water, they live within the water side of the area.
The United Nations World Water Day is set aside to inspire people around the world to learn more about water-related issues and take action. With the theme Leaving No One Behind, this group of doctors and physiotherapists of the Carrington Youth Fellowship Initiative organized the Alafia Health Project to create hygiene awareness with residents of this community.
Today we're creating awareness. We're having the climax of our series of activities in the community. We'll first add a stakeholders engagement where we discuss what the problems are and look for solutions with the community members. And then we also add a training session, 2-day training session for young people and women in the community, so that they can take back the lessons around sanitation and hygiene, water purification to their families and their various respective neighborhoods and communities.
We've come in for several months. We've done focus group discussions. We've done a series of interviews. We've had community intro where we discussed with influencers and stakeholders in this community, and we asked them what are the major issues. So we were able to go back and forth and found out that access to clean and potable water and generally wash-related problems are the major challenges of Ebute Ilaje.
Access to water and sanitation is a prerequisite to healthy living and productivity, a privilege which over 1 billion people across the world are lacking. These representatives from the U.S. Consulate emphasizes the importance of this day and why the activities of this group should be encouraged.
The project that's being done here today is one of the projects that's being done by the health team of that initiative that's part of the 2018 cohort. They specifically started this project hoping to address maternal mortality and issues with women's health, but as they were selecting communities and they chose this one and started doing conversations with the community, they ended up realizing that there was an even more basic issue of water and sanitation.
Just like this group of well-meaning Nigerians, stakeholders in the wash sector also speak on the importance of water and how the government can improve wash services across the country.
We have a very big problem in Nigeria with open defecation, and this is why, as we are all seeking to come together to find strategic ways to partner to improve water and sanitation hygiene conditions, we also have to begin to open our eyes to the idea of universal sanitation coverage, as we are putting together water accessibility that we hope will reach local governments and communities.
In November 2018, President Muhammadu Buhari declared a state of emergency in Nigeria's water, sanitation and hygiene sector, following reports that over 63 million residents lack access to clean potable water, sanitation and hygiene. Activities spread across the country on these days serves as a gentle reminder to the government that a lot still needs to be done to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 6 on water and sanitation. Adeshewa Dushoga, TV360, Nigeria.
News now returns after this break. Do stay with us.
How's the crash Robbie Wilson effect.
And that works normally from Nigeria, where voters are on the queue to cast their ballot.
That electronic outlet was post, and Nigerians are reacting.
For area of Lagos as early as 7
Radio, some minutes say the incident has been managed.
This morning.
You're welcome back, and it's time to talk business with Fidelia Aguncha. Hello, Fidelia.
Hi, Annetta.
So, over the past few weeks, the past few months, we've seen that the president has actually turned down assent to a couple of bills because they didn't meet a few criteria. But it seems right now that one bill has actually passed that test. Please tell us more about that.
Yes, Annetta, President Muhammadu Buhari has assented to the Engineers Amendment Act for 2019. The act establishes the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria and empowers the Council to prosecute infractions, regulate industrial training of engineers, and build capacity of local content in the engineering sector. Speaking after the president gave his assent, Senior Special Assistant to President Buhari, Ita Enang, noted the core component of the act.
Before any company, foreign engineering firm practices in Nigeria, that the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, current, certifies that there is no qualified engineers or skilled or practitioners in that field before those companies can be allowed to practice in Nigeria and before they can be granted expatriate quota to bring in those foreign engineers. It also makes it very, very compulsory that those foreign firms must have it as part of the contract to train Nigerian engineers to take over from them.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says it expects the country's inflation rate to rise to 12% and moderate afterwards in reaction to gains from agriculture and the manufacturing sectors. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele made the projection while explaining his post-elections agenda for the economy, noting that monetary policies will be adjusted in line with the unfolding conditions and outlook. Emefiele also highlighted efforts at pushing the gross domestic product by promoting indigenous productions with a focus on agriculture and manufacturing sectors. Oil hovered slightly below 2019 peaks on Friday, propped up by ongoing supply cuts led by the producer club OPEC and by U.S. sanctions on Iran and Venezuela. Concerns that an economic slowdown might soon impact fuel consumption are preventing crude prices from rising further. Brent crude oil futures were at $67.92 a barrel, up by 6 cents, while U.S. crude futures were at $60.04 a barrel, up by 5 cents. Economic growth has slowed across Asia, Europe, and North America, potentially denting fuel consumption. Well, up next is a review of the stock market. Stay with us. The bulls took back dominance at the NSE today, ending 6 days of bearish trend, which cost the market over 121 billion naira. A 0.82% rise in key market indicators pushed the market value up by 95 billion naira, recovering more than 70% of the loss incurred in the past days. Now, sectorally, every index in the market posted gains, with the exception of the oil and gas index, which fell by 0.36% due to losses seen by Total PLC. Cadbury, Okumu Oil, and Nascon Allied PLC also declined in value, topping the losers chart. Well, on the flip side, and as the gainers chart, international brewers Dangote Cement, Guarantee Trust Bank, and Cement Company of Northern Nigeria leads the pack of gainers, making a combined ₦5 profit. Well, in summary, we can see that over 231 million shares valued at 2.6 billion naira were traded on the floor of the market today, and the total deal comes in at 3,253. Now to the global scene, we can see that the tables have actually shifted. The FTSE and Dow, which recorded gains yesterday, are actually closing in the reds for the week. And the FTSE, this loss can be attributed to the fact that the EU has actually extended Brexit deadline for the country, and investors' confidence just might have been affected by that single news. Well, the Dow is falling by 1.40% to close trading for the week, while the Nikkei is actually the only one appreciating on this chart, posting a rise of 0.08%. Well, that is from the world of business. It's back to Annette Felix.
Thank you so much for that update, Fidelia. We're now bringing you up to speed with what's happening in other parts of the world. 60 people have been confirmed dead in a head-on collision between two buses in southern Ghana. The crash happened at about 2 a.m. in the Bono East region, some 430 kilometers north of the capital, Accra. The buses were each carrying about 50 passengers at the time of the crash. Emergency services were at the scene, including firefighters, to put out the blazing vehicles. Chinese President Xi Jinping has ordered a probe into a chemical plant blast that left 47 people dead, hundreds injured, and flattened an industrial park on Thursday. The explosion, which occurred in the eastern city of Yancheng, Jiangsu province, was one of the worst industrial disasters to hit China. Xi, who's on a state visit to Italy, urged all-out efforts to rescue those trapped and to identify the cause of the accident as early as possible. The State Council, China's cabinet, has established a team to investigate the explosion, with State Councillor Wang Yong headed to the scene to lead rescue and response efforts. In sports, the Super Eagles of Nigeria rounded up their 2019 AFCON qualifying campaign with a 3-1 home win over Seychelles in Asaba on Friday evening. Top scorer Ojanialo scored first from the penalty spot, while Galatasaray forward Henry Onyekuru added the second with a beautiful header. The Seychelles side, although equalized Igalo's effort, Levante man Moses Simon added the last goal almost immediately he came in for the injured Shanghai forward. The Super Eagles will now be facing Egypt in an international friendly on Wednesday, 27th March, at the same venue. Europe football governing body UEFA has charged Paris Saint-Germain striker Neymar Jr. for comments he made following the club's dramatic Champions League exit at the hands of Manchester United earlier this month. Following the side's elimination from the European competition, the Brazil international voiced his opinions online and posted swear words on his Instagram handle. The forward, who was sidelined with injury for the match, took issue with a tie-winning penalty that was awarded in dubious circumstances. The UEFA, who confirmed the charge on Friday, said the case will be dealt with by the UEFA Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body, with the date of the hearing yet to be confirmed. And that's the World Updates presented to you on News Now on TV360 Nigeria. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.